Hello, my name's Kim. I'm from Future Cloud Accounting, and today I'm going to talk you through creating a sales invoice on Xero. So if you go to the Business tab and then select Invoices off the drop-down menu, this will take you through to your sales overview page. You can then select New Invoice. Xero will take you through to the template that you need to complete in order to create your invoice. So you want to start by typing in your customer name in the To field. If it is for an existing customer, their name will appear in the drop-down list, so John Smith. If this was for a new customer, if you just enter their name and then tab across, Xero will automatically store the new customer's details. Xero will automatically populate the date of the invoice. If you tab to the next field, the due date is mandatory and links with the features such as invoice reminders. The due date is also automatically populated by Xero as it's based on your payment terms. At the moment, in the demo company, the payment terms are due on presentation of invoice, and that's why the due date is the same date as the invoice. If we tab across, Xero will automatically populate the invoice number. And in the reference field, you can then add your purchase order or whatever reference you think relates to your client or customer's invoice. If we tab across again, you can see the currency that the invoice is being invoiced at. So at the moment, that is British pounds. And if we tab across again, there are a few options as to whether the amounts are inclusive of tax, exclusive, and whether there's no tax. So if you were VAT registered, you would select tax exclusive or inclusive. And if you're not VAT registered, you want to say no VAT. For the purposes of this video, I am going to select no tax. If we tab across, we land up in the item column. So the item column is a way to add inventory items for frequently invoiced services or products. This helps reduce the amount of data entry time. I'd just like to point out though that this inventory feature is more for categorizing your services or goods, so you don't have to keep typing it out. It isn't really used for tracking inventory. If you want to track your inventory that you're selling in your business, please contact us and we will talk you through how to do this on Xero. So if I use the drop-down menu, you'll see there's already a few options that have been created. So I'm just going to select the book option. By doing that, you will see that the description has pre-populated for us, as well as the quantity and the unit price and the account that it's going to. So I can always change the quantity to whatever number we have sold of this product. So at the moment, I'm going to say we've sold 2 books. If you wanted to add a new item, it's quite simple. If you just go to your drop-down menu, select new item, and you can fill in your item code, your item name, the price for the unit, your sales account, and a description. Once you have added a new item, it will add to this list, and you can just select it again off the list and you'll see that it pre-populates all the information for you. If you don't want to use the item option, you can just simply type in the description on the invoice. And then you will just have to fill in each of the criteria. Once you are happy with your invoice and you find that you've added all the items that you've needed to, you can use the Save As option in the left-hand corner. So you can save it as a draft and come back for editing, or you can go straight into approving your invoice. I do recommend previewing your invoice before you send it to the customer. So there's a preview option on the top right-hand side. This will then give you a view of what your client or customer will see when they receive their invoice on the desktop. It also allows you a way to identify any errors before sending it to your client. And if you go to the right-hand side, you'll be able to see how the invoice would look on their mobile phone. Once you're happy with this, you can select Approve. By selecting Approve, you now have the option to email the invoice to the customer. So I'm going to select Email. If John Smith had an email address in his contacts, it would have pre-populated in this To field. If it's for a new client and you don't have an email address in, if you type it in here for them, Xero will automatically add this to the contact. So the next time you email that customer, the email address will pre-populate for you. This template is the standard email template that Xero uses. If you'd like this to be changed, you can do this in your invoice settings. Just give us a call and we can talk you through how to do that. You'll also see at the bottom you can include files as attachments. So if there's anything else you'd like to add to your invoice, you can do that as well. You can include the invoice as a PDF, and you can send a copy of the invoice to yourself as well. So once the client has been emailed, you'll be emailed at the same time with the email they would have received as well as with the invoice. And by including a PDF attachment, you're giving the client 2 options to view the invoice. So one, on the same email, you'll be able to attach the PDF, so they have the PDF version, as well as an invoice link within the email. So they'll be able to view the invoice in 2 ways. So once the email address is filled in, you would select send. So I'm just going to say cancel for now because I haven't entered the email address. So if I take us back to the invoices page, if we had sent the invoice, on the sent column here, you would see the wording sent, just like our other invoices further down. If you have any further questions, or if I wasn't clear enough, please don't hesitate to give us a call. Otherwise, have a